Life is beautiful, Erica.
Uh, yeah, I
Jesus, that was that was that I'm hanging in there answer. Oh,
yeah.
aren't we all?
I
Aren't
guess
we all? This is a very this is gonna be a short episode, y'all, but it's also special. I'm gonna speak from the heart on a few things just about life in general. And then Erica's got some exciting life updates. I'm very proud of her. She'll share some, but not all, because we don't know y'all like that. But yeah, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Rob, host of From My Experience podcast. Obviously, I'm not alone. I have the co-hostess with the mostest. Hold on, let me let my seat down a little bit. There we go. Woo. Erica, what's going on?
you know, that's the thing about adulting. Everything just keeps going on. No
Yeah,
matter what.
and on and on and on, and it changes as you get older, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna cue up the music. Y'all, we hope y'all been doing all right. I hope you've been taking care of yourselves physically, mentally, financially. We did miss y'all, man, but life was life, and I've been extremely tired. Erica has a bunch of good stuff, but busy stuff going on. So shout out to my boy, Coach Law, for holding me down with that episode. We had to let y'all hold that for a week, 2 weeks. But we are going to do a part 2. I'll see him tomorrow. We're going to be home for homecoming. And yeah, we're going to have to do a part 2 homecoming episode. And yeah. That's all I got to say about that. But we're going to get into a couple things today, man. But y'all been all right? Huh? We'll find out soon, I guess. Oh, man. Gotta get readjusted. We don't have any headlines for y'all. We actually haven't done an episode together since
Before the election.
yes. So unless you've been hiding under a rock, you now know that Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States of America.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Congratulations, Donald. Congratulations. I know some people are like, how dare you congratulate him? Listen, man. This is some left field but common sense stuff. Donald Trump and whoever manages his campaign is tapped into where society is today. The Democrats got to catch up. A lot of Trump's rhetoric and just lack of structure and stuff like that, unfortunately, resonates highly with his base. And his base are white men, white women, and people with less formal education. I'm not talking about these people in any type of way, shape, or form, but those are just the statistical facts. And I looked at some of the data after this came out, and it just connected. But his campaign was very shock value. It was very conversational. A lot of people have a lot of different point of views about Kamala Harris. I will say this. 1, being a woman, 2, being a black woman, 3, being basically launched into this as a backup because Joe Biden, clearly isn't capable. She was at a huge disadvantage. Huge disadvantage. And for what she did it very well. But one of the things that kind of pissed me off was the double standard. I'll get on this and I'll get off this. Actually, I'll stop. I'll stop at the double standard. Erica, would you like to share any thoughts first?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you that she was already starting from a big disadvantage. Like, people, I don't know. I just feel like people get so caught up on one person, or basically about how much they couldn't stand how Joe Biden handled his presidency, that they automatically just jump to someone else without even like researching or taking into consideration what a person's campaigning for. But because of their distaste for how Joe Biden was, and then also Joe Biden's like, you could have dropped out of the election a long time ago prior to that July dropout because you truly didn't give Kamala enough time to campaign to get that support, anything like that. If it was something where his health and he just knew that he couldn't do it, I wish that he would have had Kamala out there with him
Yeah.
prior to that, so it would have been a smoother transition. Instead, he kept being headstrong about it, that he was going to do it, he was going to do it, just to drop at the last second. And Kamala is dealing with a lot of the, we don't want you because we don't want a woman president, we don't want you because uh you come from a multi-ethnic background and everything like that. We don't want you because, oh, you align with Black people, or like you went to this school, that school, oh, you worked in the court system, things like that. So she's had a lot of stuff stacked up against her, which is unfortunate. But I will say after this election, a lot of it just has shown a lot of people don't do their research at all. And they kind of just have like the follower mentality.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the critics that she was basically getting, or criticisms that she was getting from Black community, was child support. And like, what are you gonna do about child support?
Yeah. Another brilliant thing Trump's campaign did. I'm sorry, I got to give credit where credit is due. I really think this is maybe a little bit conspiracy theory-ish, and I am going to get back to the double standard statement I made earlier. They definitely play, he's Elon Musk is his boy. He's connected. One of the things that's been happening, we've talked about on the show, is the war between Black men and Black women. And that narrative came up a whole hell of a lot. And they were trying to make it seem like Black men were for Trump, blah, 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 blah. But then when the numbers come out, I forget, with 75, 80% Black men or something like that, 78. It was in the high 70% of Black men voted for Kamala Harris. And I think like some 90 or 93%, something like that, of Black women voted for Kamala Harris. So obviously that was a farce, and that was used as a distraction to create further divide. But they took advantage of being tapped in. That's what's happening. You got all these podcasts and all these people putting up clips of all this ignorance, and it's not true. We're looking at, those are loud voices doing that, quote unquote, but the people who got their stuff together ain't involved in the foolishness. But yeah, his campaign, man, it was definitely kick ass, and it covered up his shortcoming. Well, it didn't really cover up his shortcoming deficiencies. His base is just gonna ride with him regardless. But the double standards, and I don't remember all of them, but I'm a fan of Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast, and they were talking about some of the stuff she didn't do, and they said she didn't speak to Black men, and I'm like, well, what did you want her to do? Like, all the stuff Trump did, Trump is standing next to, rappers and other figures, right? And trying to pull in Black votes. One of the people who stood with was Trick in Detroit, who like basically runs Detroit. And here's the double standard for me. When Kamala does stuff like that, oh, she cooning, she would never do this, she would never do that on a regular basis. But we have Trump, a white man, who does this, and people say he's more relatable because he has a criminal record. It's just astonishing. So just because Kamala, for as far as we know thus far, she lived a clean life, she worked her way up to the top, is now a deficiency. She's now unrelatable because she did what she was supposed to do in life, versus someone who is a known convicted felon. And you choose him because you feel like that's more authentic, is wild to me. But as far as speaking, she did speak to her base because Democrats' base is more people with more education or more formal education, in certain age groups and certain what's the word I'm looking for? The middle class, upper middle class. So she couldn't win. Like just the campaign wise, she couldn't win, and people keep forgetting she didn't have time.
Yeah.
But
Like no time.
She had no time. Donald Trump had the last 4 years while Joe Biden was president, leading up, like he's had and he has the experience of actually having been president, and he has the business relationships. So, I mean, he had a huge advantage, but also on top of that, I found it astonishing that the guy never had a plan. He had concepts of a plan, and we're looking at the person who is going to run the country. And people think that if you just if you just take what they said and what they presented and just remove all the concerts, the rallies, and all that, Kamala is clearly a better choice based off of what she said, based off the direction she wanted to take things, in my opinion. Because Trump didn't really say anything. I was really hoping she got into though $20,000 down payment assistance for a home, forgivable small business loans, and there was something else she was trying to do too. Like
that's the exact reason I'm in the situation I'm in now.
Oof, yeah. So like that kind of stuff, and it's like you saying she didn't. You know, one of the points that they were driving on the Joe Budden podcast was, Trump was basically like, yo, I know it's fucked up out here, but we gonna get this right. We gonna help you get to this money. How? Like, nobody's asking, like, yeah, that sounds good, but you need to ask the follow-up question of how you're going to do this. I can tell you anything. I can say what I'm going to do in a blanket statement, but if I can't at least give you a plan, even if you don't believe either candidate, at least one of them had an actual plan. Like, hey, if you want to start an actual business, here's 50 grand. Like, y'all smart enough. Get a group of friends together, $50,000 to start a business. You know what kind of you can start a lot of different kinds of very profitable businesses with $50,000. But I digress. We're not the political podcast. It was what it was, and Donald Trump is showing out. The people he's appointing to office have weird checkered pasts. I mean, they align with him greatly, and it is going to be a wild ride these next 4 years. It is going to be an absolute insane wild ride. I have no idea why he put Linda McMahon as whatever.
Yes.
What was it? What's her position?
For the Department of Education.
Vince McMahon's wife. Yes, that
Yes.
Vince McMahon from WWE. Yes, that Vince McMahon who was disappeared among these allegations of sex trafficking and all this nasty stuff behind the scenes.
She was listed in it too.
I'll be damned.
Didn't know that because I didn't follow it. But
She's
y'all
listed
just
in it too.
buckle up, yo. Dead ass. That's all we can do. Buckle up. Get ready for a wild ride. I just, and what I really, moving on past this, I pray that he does a fantastic job when he gets in office. I pray that he can turn some things around and make things better. He has the opportunity to do so because he's going to be able to run the government because the Republicans won what they needed to win to actually be able to control votes and say so and policy and stuff like that. I think they have the House and the Senate, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There that is. You got anything else on that, Ericca?
Just, I don't know, just the foolishness of people after the election finding out that they voted against themselves. That has been the most... As upsetting as it is that people just don't do their research and they just decide that they're just gonna get whatever they need to with something as important as an election off of social media.
Yeah.
Like, and just no research, nothing. And people are like, yeah, I voted against Obamacare. I don't care about that. Yet you you need the insurance, babes. The Affordable Care Act is Obamacare. You voted
Yeah.
against yourself.
Yeah.
For the parents that voted against basically the whole Department of Education and this, that, and the third, yet your child has an IEP or like anything. Your
Wow.
child has disabilities, anything like that, and you voted against your own child.
Wow.
Like, and people are coming out the woodwork just now realizing it, and I'm just like, you played yourself. He never told you any inkling that he wasn't going to get rid of it. It was blatantly in your face that he was. But you were just so consumed with your dislike of someone else that, and also the other thing that's just so like crazy to me is how everybody already experienced him in office and knows how he handled the pandemic, how he handled everything, how he set us back so many years, and turn around and voted him back into office. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
have good faith in it because of that. But is it's just like it's a group project voting in an election, and half of your group doesn't want to learn or
Mm.
research anything.
Mm.
So I'm not surprised at the turnout because it gave me the same feeling as the 2016 election,
Mm-hmm.
because people didn't want to vote for Hillary because she was a woman, this, that, and the third. And it was like it gave me the same feeling. And the night of the election, it was like, yeah, I was like, I'm not feeling too good about this because people are just so consumed and stuck in their ways. I was like, we've
Yep.
already experienced him one time, but here we go again. I was like, so he could wipe his criminal background. Love it.
Don't get me started with that. And I'll say this again. He's tapped in. Erica just hit the nail on the head, myself included. I don't research politics and none of that stuff. That's why I don't delve too deep in it. I do go by what a lot of people probably go by as their experience, but I do come across some things, and if there's something that's talked about that I know will impact my life, I definitely do take a look at it because I've benefited from some things like student loan forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
for example. So it does pay to pay attention. But again and again, this is not an insult. Trump's base. Less educated people who probably could care less, people who like the easily digestible and consumable stuff. They'll see a clip on social media and say, oh, that sounds good, I'm going to do that. They're not going to, even though most of us have a supercomputer in our pockets known as a cell phone that gives us access to anything we look for. It's dummy proof. You can literally hit a button now and just ask. You don't even got to type it anymore. You can just ask for what you want information on, and it'll give you multiple sources. But people won't do that. They'll go on social media, they'll see a clip from a person and automatically assume it's true. Democrats, if you are listening, this is what y'all need to do. Charlemagne the God has said this a lot. You need to start disputing the facts. Like, yes, the Republicans have slung mud. Y'all need to like dispel the stuff like the handling of the pandemic. Obama did a interview on the Pivot podcast. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to my frat brother on there. Yo, he had an entire committee and a plan for pandemics. It was done. It was set. What to do, how to proceed, phases, stages. It was done. And when Trump got in office, he got rid of the committee. Therefore, he just trashed the plan. That's why it was handled the way it was handled. And all medical professionals have said millions of lives could have been saved. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like stuff like that. Stuff like that needs to be highlighted way ahead of time, and it needs to be put on Front Street. Hey, this is the guy you all are thinking about voting for. Here are the facts. Here are the facts. Put it out there in those public spaces so people can hear that, because if you just let them run with it and you want to play the whole, we go high, we'll let them go low, society has changed. Society has changed. You got to get a little combative now. So I'm gonna stop there. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Claflin University, the Claflin Panthers, Orangeburg, South Carolina. Our homecoming is this coming weekend. I want to give a huge shout out to my homegirl, Amber Nelson. She created a flyer that had activities she wanted us to do on social media leading up to homecoming just to get that Panther pride going. And it's been wonderful to see it. And I said this in a positive vibe, and it's really like lifted my spirits. For Tuesday, or was it Monday? What's today? It was Monday. Yesterday was Tuesday, right? Monday was like Money Making Monday, and she was like, hey, list your major, and basically like what you do now. So I got to see like a lot of my classmates just journey in life and how we majored in one thing and ended up in something else. And it was just a reminder to like pat yourself on the back. Like we have, these are people now that I've known for over 20 years. And just to see their journey in life is amazing. And I just want to encourage everyone out there, give yourself a pat on the back, man. You done did some shit in this life, like for real. Even if you don't remember it all, even if you're having a crappy day, week, year, month, whatever, you've done great things and you can continue to do great things. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend to just reunite with my fellow Panthers. Hugs, hugs, hugs. One of my closest and nearest, dearest friends. Shout out to my homegirl Muriel. She is going to be there. I've not seen Muriel since Jesus. I don't think I've physically laid eyes on her since she graduated, or since before she graduated in 2007. But we still talk, we still text. That's the homie. So we're going to take a stroll on campus and just continue to catch up. I'm just looking forward to it. Also, it's the 75th year anniversary of the Gamma Nu chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Yo to the Noops. We got some activities planned. We're going to have fun. And yeah, I'm just really happy about that. And I'm just in very, very good spirits now. Despite my energy may be a little low, y'all, I'm having some old man issues. My back hurting. I had a fresh hot pizza last week.
Ooh, from
Ericca,
where?
From Little Caesars.
It
was
does
delicious.
it like like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they eat pizza and they go to like pull it and cheese and everything like that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Yes, because they have hot and ready pizzas that they keep in a warmer or whatnot, but they didn't have any
the
when
specialty.
they ain't have any. So she was like, it'd be 8 minutes. Boom, cool, because that's a fresh pizza. I had gas for a week and a half.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Gas, by far, is one of the worst things that becomes blatantly apparent as you get older. Because it's not the fact that you have gas that's coming out. Nobody cares about that. It's when it gets trapped. It's been in my back, my side.
And you had to do them stretches, huh?
Bruh, stretches. I'm burping. One day I lit my room up. I had to have the window. The window was open, bruh. I know. Team, I know.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Window was open, bruh. I was in pain, man. And I'm like, yo, nothing is working. I was so upset. That pizza was good, though. But I got to start cutting back on. I really don't even do a lot of dairy. Cheese is the only dairy I really do like that. Everything else I do liquid-wise is non-dairy. Yeah, if it's not something sweet, it's either cheese or that. But anyway, I digress. Sorry.
No.
Homecoming season, though. Yes. It is here, and I look forward to seeing my fellow Panthers. And I just want to let y'all know I love y'all. Hope you're in good spirits. If you can't make it, I miss you. I love you too. Hope you can make it back sometime soon. Make sure you get on social media, tap in with us, send us messages and stuff like that. Send your friends messages. We're going to tap in with y'all from afar. Hell, we might even do some FaceTime stuff. But yeah, I just want to put that out there.
I will say Little Caesars, I haven't eaten there since I was in high school. because I used to just walk from the high school, go over to Little Caesars and everything. But one of my friends who did work there, she said that you just put all the ingredients in a machine and press the button and it makes the pizzas.
Really?
So yeah, I remember her telling me. Now she used to work there, so
Me too.
that's what I'm saying. Like I believed her when she said that to me. Because she used to work there and she said that you don't even touch the pizza, like you just put the stuff in and push the button and then it does it for you. Um, yeah, and I only ever ate like their specialty pizzas, never anything from the hot and ready because that thing just be sitting. They cooked it at 12, you getting it at 4. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, see, they
Mm-mm.
ain't supposed to do that. The hot and ready's, I forgot what the rule was. That's interesting. We had like yeah, we didn't have none of the automated stuff. I was still in college, so this was 2006. I was working there. Yeah, I mean, we made the
Mm-hmm.
dough fresh. Yeah, we made the. Did we make? Yeah, we made the dough from scratch, except for the thin crust. We made the pizza sauce. You got the spice package, you got the water, and you got these big cans of tomato paste. And then yeah, it was just you stretch the dough in the pan, and all the toppings were just sitting there, kind of like at Subway. Like all the stuff is
Mm.
just sitting there, and you just put your
Mm-hmm.
cheese on it. You just put your toppings and stick it in the oven. No machinery making it. That's interesting.
Yeah. I remember her telling me that when I was like 15, I would say, because this was back when I was in like marching band, and it was like you were on your own those Fridays before the football game to get your food, and we all had to like walk to like Little Caesars or Burger King. Bleh. But yeah,
How dare you?
I only like the chicken fries from Burger King.
I like their burgers. I don't like the chicken fries anymore.
Oh my gosh. That was like the only thing I ate from there.
Their fries have a weird aftertaste now. I don't know if it's the fries or the
Mm,
grease.
they don't change their grease.
It might be the grease. Cause I actually like the new fries over stove fries. I'm not really heavy on too many fast food places like that anymore. But Erica,
I
uh,
mean,
your life updates. Would you like to share?
oh my gosh, yes. So it's crazy how this all happened this month, but I I kind of had a sit down moment with myself in October, and I kind of felt like me searching for a house was not in the cards for me at this age in my life right now. I felt like maybe I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, and especially with the election coming up too. I didn't want to risk what ended up happening where Kamala did not win and couldn't do that 25,000 for first time home buyers and everything like that,
Mm-hmm.
especially with student loans. And I started touring apartments in October, and I was like, okay, well, let's figure out, am I moving to the big city or not? And I realized how I don't really care to move to the big city. Because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I can always drive there. It's not that bad. That's the one thing about the DMV. It's like everything's accessible within like
Yep.
30 minutes. So it's like you don't really need to pay to live in a shoebox, and I'm a person, I need a lot of space. I don't know why. I just have a lot of trinkets with me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of trinkets. But I found an apartment. I had narrowed it down. I toured 4 different places. And I narrowed it down to my 2 places where I was thinking about going back to my original apartment that I had when I first moved back home from Richmond. And I was like, yeah, I mean, this is fine and everything, but they're gonna try to stick me in the old building. I want to be back in the new building where I was at the first time around.
Oh God.
Because
I'll be damned.
I don't want no maple style cabinets. I want them white cabinets with the granite countertops.
I'll be damned.
And I got tired of waiting and I toured another place the weekend after. And I absolutely loved it. And I was like, oh yeah. I said this is the one. And then they said $75 for covered garage parking. And I forgot what else they said to me. It was a whole bunch of stuff. So it ended up becoming almost a like $4,500 apartment.
I'll be damned.
And I was like, girl, and I was like, are you serious? And she said, yes, but it's not going to be that bad if you lock in at the 18-month lease. And I was like, 18-month lease, like it still equals 4,500
I'll be damned.
a month.
4,500 a month for an apartment
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely insane.
Now, the apartment was nice. I'll give them that. And they had a rooftop with the little cabanas and everything like that. I was like, oh yeah, I could see myself out here. You would see the highway, the trees. But then I was like $4,500 a month. Like, and we not even in the city. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I had to come to Jesus moment with my dad. And then we toured another apartment the week after. And I fell in love with this apartment that I am in now. So yeah, I moved out. I told my parents that I was getting a little too old to be hanging with them. Well, more like they told me I was basically aging myself hanging around with them. So
Mm,
I was like, fair enough. You right. I do be going to bed a little early, you know.
it's
I
healthy.
be it is healthy. I enjoy it, but they just were like, well, my dad more was like, yeah, like you're young, you don't get these years back. Like you don't want to like also we were watching Love is Blind at the time and there was this
Oof.
guy. He was 28. Did you watch Love is Blind?
Absolutely not.
Okay. They did so we were watching the DC season because it was the DC this past year that aired. And we were watching it, and there was this guy. He was 28, and he was living in his parents' basement. And for some reason, it just really struck a nerve in me when I saw him in his basement. And I was like, okay. I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to be waiting on buying something, and this election happens or anything like that, and I'm just like stuck here and I haven't done anything. I was like, I'm not going to get these
Yeah.
years back. I was like, responsibilities would hit me in the face, and I wouldn't have any time to be selfish with myself and my time. So, and also I liked being on my own to begin with. I mean, I love my parents, I do, but I like being able to come and go as I please without having to say stuff, you know.
Yep.
Even now, like my mom's like, text me when you get to work. I'm just like, really don't want to, but okay. I was like, I don't think you do this to my brother, but fine. These double standards, you
Double
know.
standards. Yep, yep, yep.
So, but yeah, I moved in at the beginning of the month, and apartment's still kind of trashed in a way because
Of
I
course.
I had to empty out my storage unit completely. And it took me 2 weeks to move everything over here
Mm.
because you know I refused to take days off from work and was just trying to get over
You're an
here
alien.
and yeah, I was trying to get my PTO, but
Listen,
yeah,
I am very proud of you. It
thank
is
you.
it's definitely a balanced thing in life. Like you have to pick and choose your time
Hmm.
to leave. Cause actually, funny enough, once I went to college, I never lived with my dad died when I was in college, but I never lived with either one of my parents again. Like I came back and visited or stayed with my mom for the summers, but I lived on campus, then I lived off campus. And when I graduated, I had apartments and blah blah blah. I'm just bouncing all over the place. And it is a great experience. There is nothing like having your own place
Hmm.
and you can just be in silence. You can walk around in your drawers. It can get dusty. It can get dirty, and nobody's going to say a thing to you. There is nothing like that sweet and lovely independence. So all I'm going to say is
Yes,
congratulations. I pray it all works
thank
out for you moving
you.
forward.
Thank you. I missed it just being me in my own space because I even told my mom, I said it was very hard coming back home from Richmond after I had to pack up my initial apartment down there and then come back home. And I was like, "Ugh, I can't do this. Like I lived on my own for 2 years and now I'm like back into like this childhood bedroom. And I was like, with a cat of all things. I was like, this ain't gonna work,
Yeah.
you know, and finally moved out. And then when they try to up my rent to like over $2,000, and I said for a
Yeah.
1 bedroom, I was like, ain't no way. And then I came back home and I was like, you know, you could just rough it for a little bit, you'll be fine. And I it moving back home, I guess it doesn't not to make it seem a certain type of way, but I just don't feel happy being back at home own because it's like I know
Yeah.
that I like to be on my own.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like it kind of made me feel more like a kid again, and I was like, I don't want this.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. It's just a vast difference. It is a world of difference, and there's nothing like it. So those of you out there, you gotta do what's best for you, man. You know, if you need to stay a couple more years, stay. If you think it's time for you to go, go. Leave on good terms in case your ass got to come bike.
Yep,
But
they gonna keep seeing me.
I ain't got nothing else, Erica, and my stomach hurts.
Oh,
But I am happy for you, and I'm proud of you. Do you have anything else for the beautiful people?
beautiful people, beautiful people. No. Um,
Told y'all it was
no.
gonna be short.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm going out of town this weekend too. I'm gonna go see one of my friends. I haven't seen her in almost a year, so I'm gonna go see her and her dog. We gonna party, live it up.
I'm gonna hit the music on that one because going to see your friend and her dog to party is crazy work. Ladies and gentlemen, we missed y'all. We back. You know what I'm saying? Just had to have a little quick convo with y'all. A lot has been going on. Obviously, a lot has been happening. I am not in 100% health. I hope I feel better tomorrow. Hell, I gotta hit the road.
Yeah.
Erica got her full independence bike, and yeah. We here, man. But be optimistic. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Yes, there's been a lot of changes. The climate is gonna change, y'all. But we gonna be all right. All right. Until next time, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially, and we'll catch y'all. Peace.
Kind of reminds me of the sounds of blackness a little bit. You know the song.